Hey guys, how you doing? It's Austin, and I wanted to go over kite crossing again since we've had this major update. Uh, Thanks to Clove and his great work that he's been doing with kite crossing. I just want to go over some different setups along with how to set up alerts, what I do for my alerts, some other things that you might want to be aware of. Just a lot of pros and cons of using different setups. And I'll show you some different instances where one might have caught something when the other one was kind of lagging behind. So let me go ahead and jump into this real quick. All right, so I have two different time frames set up. Usually on my old, videos, you see me have four, but that's when I was doing this manually. Okay. With the new update from Kite Crossing, you might have seen a box that says, I can show you right here. It says don't allow predictive closes. Okay. So predictive closes means I don't know exactly because I was not the one that created the software, but I'm assuming that it's taking the average length that the VWAP is moving, and it can calculate that within 1 to 2 candles it will reach the 0 point, and I think that's what a predictive close is. Um, so if you're going to be using predictive closes, I recommend that on higher time frames, such as the 60, 180, 360, and 720 minute. That one, it's harder to change the trajectory, if you will, of the VWAP. So it's more accurate to have those predictive closes on. If you're doing scalping, like the 3, 6, 12, 24, I would recommend having predictive closes on because that's as close as you're going to get to the original method, and it allows you to be more accurate and not make, bad decisions where you shouldn't have, entered a long or entered a short. The current time frame that I've been working off of is the 7-15-30-60. I found as we're getting closer and closer to the end of this macro triangle that it's just working out a lot better. I'm not making as many stupid moves. Yes, I just don't think that trying to take advantage of all these tiny ups and downs is proactive. You're doing a lot more than you have to make money in this market. You need to be patient and wait for the setups, and you'll have success. So you can see right here, I have the 7-15-30-60 with don't allow predictive closes, suppress repeating labels so I don't constantly have labels flooding in, and two confirmations before I get that alert. Now, it doesn't really matter, 1 to 2. I like 2, but you can see right here, okay, this is the glory of this thing. You got an okay, so a lot of people in the past, they were entering and exiting off of every single under or every single over. That's why I think you need to turn repeating labels off. So you need to enter and exit if you don't have take profits set up, that is. I recommend learn technical analysis, learn to where to take profits, and you'll have more success and more profit long term. But if you just want to have a bot running, or if you're not comfortable with that, you can do it based on this, where you enter on the change between the two. If it goes from over to under, you short. If it goes from under to over, you long. Okay. So right here, you would have exited your long, entered a short, and you would have entered short about 2.5, maybe 3 hours before this gigantic drop that we had yesterday. And you could potentially take in a profit of 55% on that. Now, you got an under to an over. You would have entered a long. If you would have just trusted the signals, you could have taken profit with another 50%. Back to back trades in 20 hours, you could have made 100%. Amazing. And this isn't just one instance of this. This happens all the time. This time frame has been able to successfully get all of the pumps, all of the dumps, no exceptions. You can see right here, under symbol, well before the drop. You didn't get an over symbol. You could have collected, 17% profit right here. You got an over symbol. 20% profit if you were able to take it at the very, very top. Obviously, not everybody's that lucky. That's just the maximum you could have got off of that. And I mean, you can go back and back and back in time. I mean, it has been absolutely profitable. Right here, you would have entered long, you would have exited short right here. Now, this is one of those occasions where, yes, you would have made 18% profit, but then, if you were listening to this, you could have taken a 10% loss. But it's about making more than you lose. The big gains are going to happen. It's like digging for gold. You're constantly mining. You don't know what you're going to find. When you strike gold, you get rich. But sometimes you have to buy more mining equipment to keep digging. So it's just one of those situations right here. You would have entered short. You could have made 37% right here. You would have entered short. You could have made 26% right here, entered long, another 29%. I mean, I do mostly 10x for a lot of my things. Right here, for example, and this was the first big drop from our macro resistance. Um, with this time frame in particular, it told you to go short right here, 63%, like that. I mean, this thing is, if you don't have any technical analysis knowledge, it could be a lifesaver. Now, I do recommend that you guys also learn that alongside it so you can have more success with it. But if you're going into positions based off of this indicator, you will have success. And there has been a lot of people that have been messaging me lately saying that, I wouldn't have been in this position unless this thing told me to. And I've made the same mistakes a lot of times where I think I'm smarter than a piece of software, and it gave me an over symbol last night. Okay. But, the whole thing about backed being bearish and, the price was just going to keep dropping all the way down to 7,500. That was kind of sitting at the back of my skull. And I was like, even though we have an under, I mean, even though we have an over, I don't think I'm going to take this long. And I'm regretting it. But for the people that did message me and did listen to the indicator, congratulations. I am so happy that you guys have had success. I've been getting so many messages lately on, just seeing your guys' portfolios grow from nothing to something. That makes me happy that I can help somebody. I mean, it really is my job. If I know something, I'm going to share it with you. Doesn't matter if I lose profit off of it. I'm not going to try to sell you something. And then for the people that, message me and they want one-on-one sessions, I enjoy those. I will sit there with you for hours, and I don't ask you for, you know, a crazy amount of money. I don't even ask you for money. I just say, "Hey man, whatever you think is fair, I'll take it. I want to work with you." So if that's something you guys are interested in, I'll be more than willing to work with you guys. Um, but the pros and cons of different setups. So you can see on the right side of the screen here, I have the swing setup, which is the 60, 180, 360, 720. And this has been absolutely killer. But this is the first time where I really, um, if you were using this method, you probably wouldn't have gotten in on that pump. You would have only gotten in on the pump if you were using the smaller time frames. But uh, the way I've been playing my trades, okay, I've been using the swing time frame to know which macro trade I should be in. Okay, so let's say we have all unders, but the price just keeps pumping and pumping and pumping. I would not enter long. I would just wait for the lower time frame to give me an under, and then I would add to my short position, laddering my DCAs all the way up until it returned back and I was in profit. I've been doing that for a very long time. I love DCAs. I love the potential it give you to, have less stress in your trades. But definitely, the next couple of days, I'm probably just gonna be listening to the lower time frame, just kind of going based off of that, just because of how accurate it has been. It has been absolutely killer. I mean, the swing time frame as well has been absolutely killer. I mean, you can't complain when you have a long position here and you take, how much was this? From right here, where it told you to go long, to right here, where it told you to go short, was 130% at 10x. That's amazing. And then it told you to go short right before it dumped. I mean, 2 hours and 30 minutes. I was in on this using these swing time frames. So anybody that says that it's a lagging indicator, the predictive closes sometimes you can have it pop up and it can switch on you. But with the higher time frames, that is very unlikely. Yes, if you're using 3, 6, 12, 24, and you're using predictive closes, you can have an under pop up that if you refresh the page, it will go away, sometimes. But that's why I recommend having predictive closes on now, since Clove was a masterful coder and put that in for us. So thank him, not me, for everything that has been happening. I'm just the method behind the madness. I don't know how to code, so Clove really is the man. I love him so much. So I mean, you would have went short here, and if you were going based off the over to under, you wouldn't have exited. You would have taken a 74% profit, absolutely killing it. I mean, this thing is monstrous. I mean, right here, if you would have just entered and exited on the unders, 20%, 70%, that you wouldn't have gotten it on the pump. So, I mean, that would have been unfortunate. But you can see the power in this thing. And when you combine it with Market Cipher B and some good technical analysis, you'll have a better understanding of what the entire momentum of the market is. And that's how these trades are so good. You just go with the flow. No matter what it says, no matter what it does, no matter what you think, the market has momentum in a certain direction, and you want to work with the market, not against it. The way I like to put it, and I explained it to a couple people. Imagine your support and resistances as a castle wall, and your time frames are different units in an army trying to destroy this castle wall or protect the castle wall. So let's say your 5 minute is an infantryman. He's just a dude on the ground. And yes, sometimes he can crawl over the wall, wreak some havoc, but then he dies and then, they retreat back outwards. That's where you get these gigantic wicks. I know this is a weird analogy, but it works. So imagine if the entire army all attacked at one time. You got your 5 minute infantrymen. You got your 30 minute horseman. You got a battering ram, which is your 6 hour, and you got a tank, which is your 12 hour. I know it's stupid, but and they can all go in at one time, and this is where you get those massive, massive moves. You need to work with the army. You need to work with the market, not against it. Go with the flow, and your trades will always come out on top. I mean, this market, yes, it is one of the hardest in the world to trade if you don't know what you're doing. But with tools like this and a community like we have, there is nothing stopping you from making an unfathomable amount of money off of this. But like I always say, it's not about the money, it's about the wealth. Building your knowledge and being able to support yourself off of crypto is a dream for many. And I'm a living embodiment of that dream. I have spent countless nights staying up and watching boring technical analysis videos so that I can further understand what I'm doing so I can make the correct decision when it matters. I can teach you how to do technical analysis. I can teach you how to use kite crossing, but I can't teach you dedication. It's something that comes from you. And I was saying this in the Discord last night that I really hope that people that are joining the Market Cipher community and are in the Discord that aren't talking, that they start to speak up. Because when I first joined, I had no idea what I was doing. I had no clue how to read Market Cipher. I didn't know anything about money flow. I didn't know about divergences. I just knew that this blue wave was smaller than this blue wave, so we were going to get a drop. And I would constantly pitch these ideas out into like the scalping channel. And I didn't do that to be like, oh, if this happens, I was right. I'm the man. In all honesty, it was so that if I was not right, somebody could correct me. Somebody smarter than me saw me. Anybody in that scalping chat that knew more than me could correct me and further help me understand where I'm wrong so I can build a better foundation so that I can prosper in the future. So I really hope that kite crossing can help you guys achieve the future that you guys want. With Market Cypher B in our community, there's nothing stopping us. We're just a gigantic brain with a quintillion hash rate of trading power. So nobody should be losing. Speak up. Don't be afraid. Nobody cares if you ask a stupid question. Everybody's just trying to help you. So I appreciate it, guys. The support and the feedback has been absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to get back into the flow of streaming. And I just want to say that I'm sorry, guys, for the way I've been, kind of down lately. I am just trying to get my health in order. I'm trying to eat better, work out, and it's kind of a struggle. It's just as hard as trying to learn how to trade. I mean, it really is. Trying to retrain your body to be a certain way, it's just god awful. So I appreciate it, guys. I hope you understand, and I'll check you guys out in the scalp chat and on the live streams. Peace out, guys. Okay, so I did that entire video and I forgot to do the alerts after watching it. So let me go ahead and tell you how to set up my alerts. So a lot of people, they set up their alerts on kite crossing itself. I would not do that. Um, I set up my alerts depending on what my setup on kite crossing is. So for example, if you're running the 7, 15, 30, 60, I would set up a VWAP alert on the 60-minute. And then once I get that alert, I would go check to see if I got the kite crossing indicator. I don't actually set it up on kite crossing. Now, I haven't tried it because beforehand, predictive closes, it actually had to wait for the close to happen. Don't know why that was, but you would get the alert like a couple hours or, after the major move happened, and that's not worth anything. So I still recommend to do it that way, but if you do have predictive closes on, you can go ahead and try it. I would set it up both ways and see if it works. But if you're doing the 720-minute, I would set up like a 360-minute alert on the VWAP. So you would go to your 6-hour VWAP and set up an alert on that. Hopefully that helps. And the way to do that, what you want to do, you want to go down to Market Cipher B, click on it, then right click, hit add alert to Market Cipher B. Then you want to go and change it to crossing, change it to VWAP, set the value to 0, and then do once per bar close. And then that's it. That's how I set my alerts. So I forgot to put that in the video, so this will just be an edit within the video. Hope you enjoy, guys.